Hey guys, Kisa here and welcome back to another episode. We're on week 4 of the greenhouse videos, so we're going to go in and check that. And then I have to plant tomatoes, so that's going to be a fun one. I will take you guys over what tomatoes I am planting this year, because there are a lot of them. So let's get started. So I did plant some of the things I've been meaning to plant for quite some time. So this is the blue curled Scottish kale. The onions did perk up. Look at how happy they are. They're just happier. All in all, look at them. And then we've got the head lettuce that I plan on planting in baskets off of the front porch. We've got 3 of the 5 baskets. These are the new fire reds. And then I will plant the other 2 closer to the time that I need to put them out so they're staged. The broccoli, the Romanesco broccoli, he's able to stand up on his own now. But he stands wonky, like forever wonky, so I don't know. I did replant the bee balm, but I just mixed the 2 seed packets into 1 cup, and what comes, and what doesn't. I realized I was short some Romanesco broccoli, so I replanted 2 cups of those. All of the peppers that I transplanted are doing fantastic. They all bounced back just fine. In fact, they're just taken off. So this is a banana pepper, a purple beauty, bell pepper. The bunching onions back there are still fine. Let's see, eggplants have gotten huge. I mean, they're loving being in their own cups now and have taken off. Except for this one's a little runt. The other 2 are fine. The mini bells, which I did end up transplanting finally. But you guys didn't see that, sorry. What's behind that? This is the other mini bell. The other Romanesco broccoli, which is doing pretty good. And then a shishito pepper. And a shishito pepper. And some more onions. They're doing fantastic. These are all the bunching onions, so they're doing good. Down here we've got the rest of the onions, because obviously I'm running out of room and I have to start using my second shelf, so they are doing quite good. They've gotten really thick bases now. See if I can zoom in on that. So their bases are getting quite thicker than what they were. So they're all doing good. And since those strip lights aren't really enough light, I have to kind of rotate this tray so everybody gets live. The grass is fine. The lettuce has been mowed because we ate a salad last night. So that's why it looks like that. Chives are great. Here is another purple beauty bell pepper, which I did trim down the amounts that I have, so I have enough to give away and enough for me and a backup just in case something happens. The 2 Chinese pink celeries are doing awesome, and they're already pink. Not that you guys can tell with the purple light, but they're pink, I promise. All the rest of the bunching onions and onions in general. So the Utah sweets, the American flag leeks, ruby red onions, and the other cups of Utahs. The Sweet Williams are doing fantastic. The bee balms are doing their thing. And then we have another banana pepper. Holy basil. Cinnamon basil. Cilantro. Lemon and lime basil. And then opal basil, which was a free one from Baker Creek, so I decided to give it a shot. A lot of basil, I know. Purple beauty bell pepper, and then another banana pepper. I swear I did slim those down. I swear. Some more onions. And then in here I have the flowers. So we have the Valkyrie Aster, the Apricot Lemonade Cosmos, which have popped up, and then the African Daisies I collected from seeds last year. It looks like everything could use a watering, especially the new cups. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then we can get on to the tomatoes. I got all my tomato seeds pulled out from their lovely little home. And this is all of them. Not the most amount in the world, but I've got a hefty collection of tomatoes for something that I don't even like to eat all too often. So pretty much every seed pack's getting planted this year, and I do not have enough containers because that's a lot. And I have to plant 6 big tomatoes and 2 cherry tomatoes for my in-laws. So that's 28 tomatoes if I want one of everything. Which is not how I do things, because I require backups for when and if I can kill them. Or if I plant them out too early, or if a freak frost comes through, but then I'll always have... I had a lot of extra tomato plants last year. Okay, I think this year we'll just hope to God we don't have a late frost or anything. Okay, I think I'm not going to have enough soil for this again. And I would just be like, oh, that's okay, I'll go get some. But I don't really like going to the store these days. Everybody's crazy right now. And it snowed like 18 inches last night. We had no snow, and now we're buried in snow all over again. So one day, I'm going to build a bigger station for all this stuff. But since we don't plan on living here for the rest of our lives, in fact, we want to move as soon as humanly possible, I'm not going to bother. Our goal is to homestead. I want land, cows, chickens, pigs. I want to provide for myself, and of course a garden. Like most people that do this are going to want, sometimes, not always. That is the goal, so I'm not going to go out of my way to make my life easier for the next year or two until we move, so you get to watch me struggle. I hope it's fun. Okay, change of plans. We're planting all of the tomatoes in solo cups first, which goes against my better judgment. It just means I have to transplant them later, which is more work later. But I will guarantee to have enough soil to start them all today, and I can then collect enough big pots and soil to transplant them later. And if you want to look at the objective side, it guarantees me another video. Which is not why I'm doing this. I'd rather work efficiently. I'm going to time-lapse you guys through this first part because it's going to get pretty boring. That took a while. And I don't even have all the cups I've got. I bet y'all are wondering what tomatoes are going to get planted. Looks like first on the docket is Berries Crazy Cherry, mind-boggling humongous clusters, 40 to 60 fruit of beaked yellow cherries. Sweet, great for salads. I honestly did not have very good luck last year with yellow tomatoes. They tasted disgusting, like all of them. And it was the Sun Golds, the ones that everybody likes. Everybody likes every tomato, so I just, it's stupid, but it was gross. And Arthur's like, oh, it tasted like a pineapple and a tomato. Those sounds awful. Just sounds awful. Anyways, planting tomatoes. The first tomatoes of the year. I hope you're lucky, Berries Crazy Cherry. Sure as hell doesn't feel like you have any seeds in here. How many are in here? Usually it tells us 10. There are only 10 seeds. And they're tiny. So I'll plant 2 in a cup and take away, depending on how it goes. Normally I would plant 2 to a cup, and when I transplant them I'd split them, and come time to plant I would plant the better of the 2. But I can't have 50 some odd tomato plants in that little greenhouse. It just would not work. So I'm thinking I'm just going to have to cut my losses and get a bigger greenhouse when we move. But I think I'm just going to have to transplant 1 when I go to transplant them out of the cups and exnate the other and hope I don't kill anything. Because you never know what happens. You never know. I'm not a mind reader. I can't predict the weather. I'm definitely not a weatherman. Alright, Berries Crazy Cherry, planted. Up next on the docket, we're going to plant 3 of, because I'm actually looking very forward to this tomato, it is the Verna Sausage mix. And if you don't know the backstory as to why they're called Verna Sausage, then I will put a link to that video. And they will forever be the Verna Sausages. I know that's not how they're pronounced, so just put your pitchforks away. Anyways, I am looking forward to this tomato because we grew this one last year. It was a free seed pack from Baker's Creek. And oh my god, it was so good. And when I went on there this year to buy it, they didn't have just the blacks. They had this art mix. So luckily I saved seeds from just the black. But a little back note on my seeds that I saved last year is they are all potentially cross-pollinated. The ones I had bagged died for an early frost. They got wiped out. So I had to take from ones that were open pollinated by the bees. So they're potentially not what they're supposed to be. But that's okay, because that's a risk I'm willing to take. This year I know better, but... So we're going to mix it up nice and good and hope we get one of each, is the goal. Probably won't happen, and you won't know until it bears fruit. So next up on the docket is a tomato that when I saw online, I don't know why, I just wanted it. There wasn't anything that really caught my attention other than my bias for Japan. So it is the Japanese black trifle. It is a pear-shaped tomato, beautiful for its unique colors ranging from dark red to deep black. Fruits weigh about 3 to 5 ounces. This tomato is perfect for canning because it maintains its color through the canning process, and it is a prolific producer. Nothing about that matters to me. I just want to try it. Next is a tomato that I got simply for fun. Again, nothing about it is like, ooh, I must have that tomato. It is Wagner Blue Green. Beautiful and flavorful round fruit, 3 inches across, and incredible blue with green flesh. It's not just unique. Unique as all get up. It was literally the only reason why I got it, because it's... Look at how dark that can get. Okay, so this tomato I actually got for a reason. It sounded amazing. It is the Sweetie tomato from M.I. Gardner. It is a southern staple variety that is the top choice for canning and freezing. Its amazing sweetness and acidity are all maintained during preservation. It is red skin, juicy, and crack resistant. Fruit grows up to 6 ounces each. Vigorous vines will ripen to support. So on their website, and I don't know if they say it anymore for liability purposes, but they said it is so sweet that you don't need to add sugar in the canning process. Now, I don't can, but my husband does love a sweet tomato. So we're going to give it a shot. Doo-doo-doo. Now this one I got just simply because it sounded cool, and it is the pink oxheart tomato. It is a 1920s multi-purpose heirloom. Heart-shaped tomato is meaty and solid, making it a perfect addition to sandwiches. The flavor is sweet and juicy. Sweet. And the density of the walls makes for a delicious paste. Fruits grow up to be 16 to 32 ounces. Vines grow vigorously and require cages. Well, roger that. We're gonna give them a shot. This is why I'm planting so early, is because some of these tomatoes are big, and since I have a short growing season, means that though it may bear a lot of fruit, the fruit won't get a chance to ripen. Now this tomato I got simply because I live so close to Canada, and it's cold, like today. I don't know if you guys can hear it when I'm talking, but there's a bunch of stuff flopping around outside the garage door, kind of like that, and all my wind chimes. There's like 55-mile-an-hour winds today, and it's suddenly winter all over again. It's freaking freezing. Anyways, this tomato is called the Subarctic Plenty. It is a determinate. This is like the only one that I got that's a determinate. Developed in Canada, this variety is extremely tolerant to colder climates and has been grown in the southern Yukon, which borders Alaska. Red and round fruits reach up to 2 ounces, perfect to grow in containers, known as one of the earliest tomatoes to fruit, produces high yields of delicious all-purpose fruits. That sounds like a tomato that I need. So, that's why I got it. And I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but all of these tomatoes that I picked have less than 80 days to maturity. I was literally trying my best to pick ones that have less days, which I will list on here, and I probably will be, you probably have seen it at this point. I'll put it on the video, what the days to maturity of them are, if I can find it, because some places don't tell you. Next up on the docket is another tomato for fun, and it is Tess's Landrace Currant. I mean, who wouldn't want a teeny tiny little currant tomato? Indeterminate, small bite-sized tomatoes grow like grapes on large clusters, super sweet. I have nothing to say to that. And low on seeds. These tomatoes are perfect to get kids into growing a garden. Popular with gourmet chefs and home gardeners alike, plants are indeterminate, fast-growing, and ideal for locations with short growing seasons. Plants will produce dozens of tomatoes per cluster. Nothing more to say on that. It's a tomato that I can grow, supposedly, and it's also sweet, so it may taste good, supposedly. Oh, they're tiny, tiny, tiny. Oh, they're tiny. Just tiny little things. So I got the Wisconsin peach. It is also an indeterminate, one of the best tasting yellow tomatoes in the world. We'll see about that. This 2-bite variety is bursting with sweetness and slight acidity, perfect addition to any salad or sandwich, perfect for anyone who thinks they don't like tomatoes. Easy to grow and absolutely beautiful with its fuzzy yellow skin. This better be the best tomato in the world, or I'm going to be the saddest person ever. Supposedly it is a very good tasting tomato and that I will like it. And it's sweet and acidic and fuzzy. Because I'm a sucker for all things cute. So we'll see about that. We will see. I just realized that that does not say Wisconsin. I have no idea how to pronounce this tomato. I can't believe I've misread it all this. This is now going to be called the Wisconsin peach tomato because I'm not even going to try and butcher that name there. So sorry. I now know. The only other seed that's new this year is the Early Cascade, which is a determinate. Early Cascade is known for its early yields, cold-tolerant nature, and its perfect round 6 to 8 ounce slicer tomatoes. It is named after the way the fruit cascades and the vine is ripened. The garden makes a friendly variety perfect for fresh eating and slicing. High yields and vigorous vines require support. I'm also going to redo the Tomato again this year because it was just an amazing tomato last year. It tasted good and it grew insanely awesome. And it's a 3 ounce tomato, not a cherry tomato. Vigorous growing variety, bears delicious fruit. Plants require little space and effort to produce a big crop. Excellent for salads, juice, canning, and relish. America's most popular vegetable. It was actually a really good one. Sun Gold, possibly cross-contaminated. Not contaminated, possibly cross-pollinated. I always worry about tomatoes that I've harvested the seeds myself, or any plant really, because you just never know. It may not work out very well. And then you're out of that plant, you know? Haven't had it happen yet, but I do always very much worry of the day that that does happen. Because it can. Okay, the black semen, we wanted to try again because they all died in they died last year with a heavy rain. They all cracked, split, fell off the vines, and were completely just obliterated. So we're going to try these guys again. Okay, we didn't actually get this one last year either because my tags were messed up and I mislabeled. So I ended up getting 2 blueberries and no blue creams. So we're going to give these guys a shot. And last but not least, we're going to try the blueberries again because they were good even though I had 2 plants of them last year. They were still pretty tasty tomatoes. Now the challenge is making them room in the greenhouse. Okay. Alright, I've got them all set up in here, all of the tomatoes. Some of them are tucked away. There's a black Verna Sausage back there. And some of the onions and peppers got banished to the second shelf. So now I'll just have to keep an eye on them and make sure that they get enough light. Kind of rotate. They'll be alright. The onions hopefully are going to get put out soon. As soon as this new snow melts. And the nights are at least above 28 consistently. And the rest of them are over here. And obviously I still have 10 more plants, tomato plants to plant this year. So I will do those guys probably tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you next week. Bye! Oops. So I figured I'd try a different type of cherry. So I tried fucking shit.